Alright, welcome back everyone to Kirby's Forgotten Thing. Now we're just gonna do the treasure roads and then beat the boss.
Oh god, what did Kirby forget this time?
I think he forgot his keys.
The last 5 times it was his lands, now what was it?
His
His
keys.
cake! I bet it's his cake again. He always loses that.
But yeah. I will say that this is a pretty... is a little bit annoying. Kind of.
Because of the way the double chakrams come back to you, not straight, but sort of they curve outwards, left to right.
They go
come back
forward
to you.
and then expand out.
Yeah. But yeah, this is a... Because I don't know if we've seen this with the other abilities yet, but... The sort of the... This is how they get a bunch of treasure roads out of you. We've already seen a bunch for the regular copy abilities, but they also test you on the upgrades as well, and I think that's pretty cool. It's cooler for some like this one than others though, because double chakram, like we see, has a different trajectory to the normal, and there's 2 of them, so it makes for interesting stuff. It's also they're also smaller as well. A few upgrades in this game can sometimes just be the same but bigger and more powerful,
That's the case for fire, and for sure.
Yeah, well, it is for a bit at least, which is okay, which is cool enough, I guess. But
actually, no, ice is like that. Ice is like that, for sure.
Ice has some, yeah.
Because the one thing that I always found
they both have like a few things going on though.
The one thing that I found to be irritating with the base ice ability is just how slow the freeze attribute takes place. Because once you go up in upgrades, that effect gets gets faster to form.
To be fair, the more boring upgrades tend to just be the sort of the middle upgrades of each ability, which not say too much more on that. Besides that, like here, despite this lava fire or magma fire being basically just a stronger fire, instead of like a constant stream, it is like you're shooting a bunch of projectiles, which may have an effect of some sort.
Honestly, that just makes me think of Ratchet and Clank. Like
what,
they got a gun there called the meteor cannon, I think it's called, and it straight up just shoots meteors.
Okay, I thought you were talking about, because I remember I've not played Ratchet and Clank. I think it is a series I would very much like though. With, like,
I
platforming
think
and
you'd
weapons.
like it, dude.
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't know where to start with it.
Start with 2, I'd say.
Let me rephrase that. I'd probably start with 1, but I don't know what the original. Is there like a PlayStation?
It's a PlayStation 2. It's PlayStation.
Well, I know that, but is it like on the PlayStation Store or something? Is it a good emulated version?
If I'm being honest, when it comes to emulators, I think PlayStation gets the short end of the stick a lot of the time.
Oh, and not Nintendo. With
okay. First off, gamers in the gaming community are more likely to emulate Nintendo games than they are for any other game, because
I meant official emulators.
I mean,
with like Nintendo, the Nintendo Switch store. I hear like Kirby 64 has some problems on the 64
I think on the
app,
PS.
but I don't actually know
when you're talking about that, in terms of the PlayStation Store, I think you can get them via the PS4 store. Whereas the only other place that I know that the original trilogy of Ratchet and Clank can be played is the the collection, the Ratchet and Clank collection on PS3,
which can be a bit skew with, from what I understand.
Yeah, there are issues with the collections. UI issues and how the game was originally made in 4:3, whereas they got expanded to like 16:9, and you can really tell that the game was made in 4:3 because Clank is like off to the side staring into the
UI
abyss.
elements and certain things. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the Super Gaming Brothers channel did a Let's Play on Ratchet and Clank, and they used the PS3 version.
Mm.
And whenever Matt goes into the water, uh,
Yeah.
and goes out, the little the
Disaster.
air meter is still visible off
Ah,
off to the
okay.
side. So
How does this relate to Kirby, you may all ask?
it doesn't.
Cool, shooty guns could be like copy abilities.
Especially,
Um,
yeah. Well, you know what? In that case, yes,
I mean,
because they can get pretty silly sometimes.
I remember there's like a fire whip gun that turns into a lava gun. Apparently, that was controversial for players at the time. Whatever.
No,
Back to this. Back to
yeah.
originally scheduled
Yeah.
Kirby for a second. Yeah, this drill one I remember was very because I probably said before I went for like all the special time limit things on these challenges just for the
Yeah.
satisfaction. And I think this one was one of the more difficult ones.
It's
I mean, it's pretty cool how it sort of teaches you and makes you use the drill's unique surge attack, though.
Yeah, it's mostly like I think most people can agree with that. Like drill is mostly used for movement than it is for actual combat.
It's like all the things in this game, these sort of treasure roads are probably one of the most unique and also cool parts. Because I like that I like the idea of, you know, here's a copy ability or here's sometimes a mouthful mode. Make the best use of it as you can, you know, and here teach you some cool things too. Although I will say, despite how cool it is, it'll teach you, like, here's something you can do with the ability in these treasure roads. Like, hey, now you're doing this. Here's something you can learn about it. I kind of wish they gave you a move list still. I know it wouldn't be very big, but
I mean, they're pretty
would,
simple and easy to understand. You know.
well, some of them like sword though. Some of those can get a bit tricksy.
But even then,
It's cool.
there's only so many ways you can interact with Kirby. You know.
Yeah, and I commend. I said
you have a kick move. You have an airborne attack. That's pretty much it.
And I said, like, in an earlier part, I commend them for how many ways they were able to get multiple moves and a move set out of the, you know, the 3D controls that they've set up for this game, and how many like different ways. Because we've already said, you know, tapping while mash tapping holding a direction, tapping while jumping while attacking, la la la, making circles while digging underground. Cool stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think having
Happy something to expand on in future games in the 3D style.
Like, I don't know how they're going to like expand the combat, because before it was like Smash Brothers, you know, directional attacks and all that. Whereas here, it's 3D, and I think in order for like, because when you're dealing with 3D, you have to understand what moves from 2D can be translated into 3D, because there is only some things that you can do in 2D that you can't in 3D, unless you are strictly making a 2D game with 3D graphics.
Yeah, I think it depends on what you're using your buttons for and stuff like that.
Yeah, the one
because in this style they've clearly actually got quite a lot out of it with the 3D controls they have in this game.
Yeah.
Like, even though Swords, for example, Swords sort of ability is slightly lessened, like, because it has a pretty diverse moveset in the 2D games, especially the modern ones. But they still got quite a lot out of it. Like, they got the drill into the up, you know, up stab into down, you know, stab and all that. They, you know, you've got your spins. I don't think they have the sword beam. I can't remember. But that's something they could easily add, and there are a bunch of other ways they could easily do stuff.
They do,
okay.
but it's for the later upgrade. It's for a later upgrade.
Okay. Got ya.
You can probably tell which one it is.
And something, I don't know if you'll show this off at any point, just for like a quick show-off thing. But the second player, because this game has 2-player, Waddle Dee, the hidden 13th copy ability, Spear, has a very diverse moveset, doesn't he?
I wouldn't know because I never really had the opportunity to play 2-player on this game.
Okay. I cheated. I used to, because you can play with single Joy-Cons on this game. No, wait, can you? You might be able to. I might be.
I don't know. And
I might be misremembering. I think
you
I might
are
have just
right
plugged
to
in
bring
a.
this up. You are right to bring that up because I am not playing 2-player with anyone at all. I'm alone.
I may be misremembering, and I just like plugged in a Switch Pro controller.
Are you actually playing
Whoops.
Mario instead of Kirby?
No. I plugged it in just to test the Waddle Dee out, and yeah, he's very diverse. But that was a fun treasure road. You're making use of the invincibility candy. So yeah, there are a few treasure roads that aren't just mouthful modes and well, actually, it does say normal treasure. I think. But yeah, occasionally, very rarely, there's a treasure road that's not just copy abilities and mouthful modes. I think that might be one of 2. Or 3, depending on how you look at it.
Heck, why not 4?
No. That's madness.
Madness.
Seem to be missing a treasure there.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember if you need to go and upgrade something, or there's something you missed in a search.
I think it's something I missed in the search for this case. Yeah, here it is.
Ah, okay.
That does happen. That does happen in the third world, though. I will say that does happen.
Okie dokie.
And I think it's because in the third world there is an upgrade that you can get in a level. But I pretty much decided that I'm not gonna go to the Waddle Dee's. I'm not gonna go to the armory yet until I finish off the world. But then I realized, oh yeah, the treasure roads lock you out if you don't have the right one. So
yeah, I always go because I want to test out the new improved copy abilities as soon as possible. This is this treasure road is a fun one. Because it makes a puzzle out of the stairs.
Oh yeah, it got my puzzler puzzled.
Even out of the most unusual mouthful modes, they get some very unique situations out of them sometimes.
For sure. I did enjoy this one a lot, mainly because of the puzzle nature of it. So, this is me just kind of thinking over, like, okay, where do I go? Where does this piece go? And etc. etc. etc.
Yeah. Well, it pays to think and actually, I think this one has a lenient sort of record on it.
Yeah.
Like best time and all that. At least as lenient as it can be for slow puzzle thinking.
I'm actually not sure if I actually got it. And I think I made a mistake right there because I think I'm supposed to take that one and take it over to the higher elevation. Yeah, this is me just kind of getting stuck. So
if you run out of time, you just got to start the treasure road over again.
Yeah.
I think you're rarely in trouble of. Yeah, I think you're very rarely like in trouble of running out of actual time. In if you're doing even decently at these treasure roads.
Yep.
Although I think I might have screwed up one before.
Oh really?
It's one later, I think. I can't remember.
Well, just to go back on the treasure roads being locked out if you don't have the upgrade. For the longest time, because I was trying to find this one treasure road in like the back half of no like before I fought the boss of part 1. I was trying to find this one treasure road in the last world, and I couldn't really find it. So, and I think at that point I realized I saw that that mission was tied to an upgrade that I haven't gotten yet.
It must have been just like a recent upgrade or something then.
It was not. I don't think.
Oh dear.
It's
You got to go back to the town more often, mate.
It's the last upgrade for sword. If you know, you know.
Right. Oh well, yeah. I mean that's tied to something else. Yeah. I understand. Just had to go back to the Waddle Doo Town though a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So
almost at the end of the treasure roads for World 2. I think they stuff a lot of the base abilities in this world. So it's like, alright, we've got all the base ability treasure roads out the way. Then we can move on to the upgrade and the mouthful modes for like the next few worlds.
Just to find a topic. What TV have you been watching?
Not much. Mostly YouTube. Or occasionally Netflix. I can't remember what I watched lately though.
I've actually been watching a bit of Star Trek. I've actually been watching a bit of Star Trek recently.
Which one?
Voyager.
Oh, that was really fast for Hammer. You just didn't need that much time, did it?
Yep. This one's speedy. But yeah, I've been watching Voyager, Star Trek Voyager, for quite a bit. And one of the episodes that always sticks with me, which I think is a later season one, where the Doctor takes up singing, and he lets the fame get to his head.
Okay.
That's one that I remember the most.
Weird sounding.
Yeah, look, dude. A lot of weird stuff happens on Star Trek. Like the one episode that I recently watched was the ship Voyager was going through some sort of phenomenon that distorts the whatever's around it. So like they're trying the main cast of the crew. They're trying to go to the bridge.
Did you?
But
okay.
But they can't because the rooms of the Voyager is being moved around. So what was on deck 5 is now on deck 2. And
interesting.
And all
I'll have
that.
to stop you there because
Tree.
first of all, I saw you pop up and then realise actually I want something different for this boss. But hey ho, it's we have here Mr. Tropic Woods, aka our Kirby's quota for stationary tree bosses. Where are you going?
You're right. Oops, I forgot to cut this out. This was I wanted to get the no damage mission.
Oh, as soon as immediately, yeah.
Yeah, and that was the one time that that happened. But yeah.
But yeah, our quota stationary tree boss, Woody Woods of this world, because of course you gotta remember this ain't Kirby's world. That's not Woody Woods. It's Tropic Woods. I don't know if he's a resident of this particular world or if he was also like budged here, but hey ho, that's the thing.
I think it might be the former. I think he is actually from Dreamland because I don't think this world has talking trees.
They got some
sentient trees.
They have talking. Well, they have at least some animals and such dressed in like stuff. We saw that gorilla earlier.
I think the reason why that is I think it's like no I think
they do.
I think it has something to do with the story, but I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I think it is too. They do pretty well for Woody Woods in 3D, I think. He pulls up grates. That's a nice new little defense he's got.
He also does lets his roots grow.
Yeah.
Which
Setting him on
you
fire.
can destroy. You can destroy in that
Yep.
submission.
Yeah. Also set him very much on fire as well, which is that's first something you could first do in Star Allies. You know, if you put fire on him long enough, he actually starts burning. That's a regular mechanic here, of course.
And I don't think I actually got the mission for no damage.
No, you've got a tiny bit up there.
Yeah.
Tiny bit.
Yeah, that's debilitating. Or,
dear oh dear.
it's depressing.
I'm sorry you blocked an attack. That's not gonna do.
Nah.
Chip damage.
Chip damage.
Like that.
How dare you?
4 or 5.
And
Four or five
there's the
perfect
other
games
mission.
are always ruined by chip damage.
There's the other mission.
Oh yes.
Beat the boss without using a copy ability. So
they can be fun no copy ability runs on bosses. Like I've done that on the arena on previous games arenas sometimes. I think it's a good way. Because I think sometimes with having an ability and how powerful they can be, you can sort of stop being careful when attacking bosses in Kirby games. Just kind of mash your face into them until you win.
Yeah,
I think it's a very good way to learn how a boss actually attacks and to avoid them if you do no copy ability sort of runs on them.
Yeah, that's a lesson for life as a gamer. Don't mash buttons.
Or don't mash your face in the enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you can get like so close, like you do an attack, and it's like, oops, I got hit, but I'm doing so much damage. But yeah, I think copy ability-less runs, normal runs of bosses, very good way to learn them. Oh, what the?
No internet for me. Sorry.
Dear. I guess that's right. Another thing this Waddle Dee, because he's the one who'll tell you about if you've missed an ability scroll in levels, but he'll also tell you facts about like how many woofies or enemies have been defeated throughout the game.
How many flowers bloom, etc.
Yep.
Really
all
small
that
stuff.
Jazz.
But I think in this case I didn't really have any scrolls that needed to be found. So
yeah, no, you didn't.
I'm good for now.
Yeah, it's a hoot.
Yeah. And now comes the upgrade of my least favorite copy ability, and I think everyone can share this sentiment.
I don't think we're going to see it much this part.
I don't like Chain Bomb at all.
Will we see it next part?
We'll see it in the future.
Yeah, I think we'll have things to talk about it then. Chain Bomb actually is not a problem. I think Chain Bomb's pretty cool.
Yeah, and its later upgrade is.
That's what comes next. That can be a bit of a difficult thing.
I don't think that's any good at all. Kind of, because I think it goes. Well,
it's for a later part though.
Later. I'll save it for later.
Yeah, but we've.
Yeah, here I am
that's
again.
It for that.
Here I am again, just doing the no copy ability run with this boss, and I have to do this a third time because I got hit.
I will say, despite what I said about no copy ability runs on Kirby games, I think this game in particular, I feel like they're a bit. They take a bit longer than usual. Like they don't take as much damage from like the spit attacks compared to how it's balanced in previous games. Although it's doing fairly well here.
I think the coconuts do more damage than the stars do.
Yeah. I think some bosses also you've got to make use of like the perfect dodge and stuff because that actually has an effect on your ability to inhale things as well. Of certain copy abilities get like extra cool bonus stuff by doing perfect dodges and they get like cool attack things. But that's also the case for your regular inhale and such.
Do you know if
So, yeah.
do you know if inhaling more items to spit does more damage?
Yes.
Okay. But,
Yeah, that's typically been the case. Yeah.
so when you see this, a bunch of like pop stars just all clustered together, take advantage of
Yeah,
that.
suck a bunch of them up as much as you can.
Right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that edit. I forgot about that edit. And then it was like, and then I fought this guy a third time.
Sorry,
man.
Tropic Woods, but we appreciate your little beard there.
Yep. A real Jamaican man.
I thought the implication it's more like Hawaii or something.
I don't know. I haven't been outside the U.S. in some time, so I wouldn't know.
I thought you were going to say you haven't been outside your house for some time.
That too. That too.
That is
but
that for Worlds 2.
I think that's it, and I am calling it a night. So, good night, everyone.
That's sweet dreams, Kirby.
Yep. And by doing that, you refill your health. And that's the end of the video. That's nice closure.